When evening's purple shadows turn to gloom and darkness, dread, superstition, and fear of the unknown linger. Underneath the shadows of a conscious world, in a deserted corner of your mind, sits an abandoned theater with only one seat. Please, come in. We've been expecting you. The show's about to begin. Open the eyes of your imagination and focus on the flickering screen of your own reality. There. See it? It's our latest episode of The Night Shift, presented by the Sioux Empire Community Theater. It is 1924, the Roaring Twenties, a time of tremendous ambition and growth, when men with drive and passion could make a fortune or a name or a discovery. One of those men is Dr. Harold LeClerke, who is expounding to a group of his peers.
And so, gentlemen, I submit to you the greatest civilizations to be discovered are not the ancient worlds of Egypt, Babylon, or even Atlantis, but are ones alive today, whose civilizations are just coming into their prime, who wait on the edge of the world's stage, looking for their contribution to the world's depository of wisdom and knowledge.
Either which you could use more of, Doctor.
Gentlemen. The Society has invited Dr. LeClerk precisely because of his knowledge of emerging cultures.
You mean his fantasies of emerging cultures?
And so we will hear him out. Do you mind a time of questions, Doctor?
I am willing to answer an intelligent question, Dr. O'Keefe, if there are any.
Dr. LeClerk, you are aware of the discovery of Tutankhamun's tomb and its tremendous value to the understanding of Egyptian history?
Of course. I am looking forward to the presentation to the Society on that very subject.
And yet you really feel there is a living culture that surpasses the achievements of the ancient Egyptians?
Or Mayans?
Or Chinese?
Yes, and yes again. Just because we have not seen it does not mean it does not exist. And my presentation to the Society is not just to announce my expedition and seek willing investors, but also to announce in advance my discovery of it. I am aware of the contributions of ancient Egypt to science and architecture, as well as other cultures that have come and gone. But I have proof sufficient to my own research that another culture exists that can put to shame even our own current methods of knowledge.
In what, exactly? We have conquered the skies with dirigibles and aeroplanes, the seas with vast ships of steel. Our architecture has provided buildings of steel and stone that scrape the very skies. Can you name even one field of science, philosophy, or art that we have not studied, learned from, and then eclipsed?
Medicine. Try as we might, men live an average of 55 years, still struck down by lowly diseases, inevitable cancers, infections, pestilence.
But those have affected every culture since.
Not among the Geistvolk.
The ghost people? Oh, my heavens. Not that old wives' tale.
Also called the hidden people, the people of the tattoo, the eyes of the jungle. I'm simply saying the recent reports of a malarial German missionary claiming the existence of a ghost people are just the latest chapter in a story known for centuries in Central America.
As have more concrete realities of yellow fever, dengue fever, hostile natives, impossible terrain, and the malaria you've already mentioned.
It's a fool's dream, LeClerk.
Not a dream! A culture of people who suffer no known disease, who live unbound by age into their 80s, perhaps further, with strength and stamina we can only dream about, whose knowledge of medicine and healing would put any European or American hospital to shame.
In the middle of the jungle.
Completely hidden.
Underneath your very noses. Proof of the people of the tattoo.
Where did you get that specimen jar?
You mean the specimen in it.
It's a hand.
What's on it?
If you mean what is tattooed on it, look closer, gentlemen. The intricate delicate proof of the genius of a people who are masters of camouflage, medicine, and natural science. And hear my promise. The next time I appear before the society, I will appear with the living proof of the world's most advanced medical culture, the people of the tattoo.
Our opening scene closes with a group of astonished scientists gathered around a specimen of a human hand. But not just any hand. A hand intricately tattooed with a background of subtle shades of greens, varying from emerald to near black, and overall a leaf pattern so lifelike that one can easily imagine how they received their name. But as bizarre as the image is, the reality to unfold will make witnesses to the event wish they had never been there. Act 1 of tonight's Night Shift Theater presentation, The People of the Tattoo, will begin after this.
Hey there, this is Jordan Deffenbaugh, the educational coordinator for the Sioux Empire Community Theater, and I just wanted to let you know, thank you for listening, really appreciate it. Also, if you wanted to support the community theater right now in these challenging times, you can do it without spending a dime. This is how you do it. Just go to www.ourmayberry.com. And Mayberry spelt like from the Andy Griffith Show, the town of Mayberry. So our, MAYBERRY.com. So you go there, click join, and click on the Sioux Empire Community Theater campaign and register as a supporter. It's completely free. As local businesses register their support, you can make purchases from them knowing that a percentage of the sale will go to the community theater. It's a win-win-win. Remember, go to ourmayberry.com, click join, and register your support for our campaign. Thank you for listening.
Myths and legends of lost cultures and civilizations have been around for centuries, as has the legend of native people gifted in the art of healing and medicine. A secretive jungle tribe called the People of the Tattoo were the focus of an astonishing lecture given by Dr. Harold LeClerke, the most famous, if not foolhardy, anthropologist in the world. But that was months, no, years ago. The controversial evening at the Society has faded into memory, and so has LeClerke. No news, no reports, nothing. Until a cold and rainy night at the London home of Dr. Reginald O'Keefe, still current chair of the Society, as he was at the time LeClerke gave his controversial presentation over 3 years ago.
Good evening, Dr. O'Keefe.
And to you as well, Maggie. Though good night might not be the term for this evening. Not fit for man nor beast, as they say.
And speak of which, there's a strange man who came by to see you. He wouldn't be put off, so I put him in the library. Most insistent he was. This close to calling authorities I was. But I know you likes your privacy.
Yes, that's quite all right, Maggie. I'll take some coffee in the library. Have you lit a fire?
Yes, Doctor.
Good. I'm chilled to the bone. And if you would bring in a plate of sandwiches, please? Strange visitors have a way of rousing my hunger. So, I trust you have reason for frightening my housekeeper half to death.
No lights, please, Doctor.
Oh, well, I hope you don't mind another log on the fire. It's a bit chilly out.
That would be fine.
I see. You're a bit chilly yourself. Can I take your coat?
No.
There's a chair here by the fire.
I'm fine where I am.
Oh, I see, Mr. Fine, where I am. Care to share the nature of your visit?
I found them, O'Keefe.
I'm sorry?
I found them.
My God. Is that you, LeClerke?
I found them.
You mean the hidden people?
Yes!
Good Lord, man. This is fantastic news. Let me ring the Society membership. Maggie?
No! Just you. Wait until you hear my story. You must hear my story first.
In a shadowy library on a rainy London night, two men stare into the flames of a flickering fire as a fantastic tale is told.
It was 3 years ago we started our journey. But in the jungle, time seemed to have no meaning. Our group had dwindled to 3. Sims, a research scientist specializing in plant biology, myself, and our guide. The sickening heat of the jungle. Day after day, our misery, hacking through a wall of jungle, bitten by flies, mosquitoes, leeches, threatened by spiders and snakes, and all manner of jungle predators. The nights brought darkness, but no relief to the heat. Sweat or exhaustion, we lost all track of time. Sims in particular hated the jungle we seemed trapped in.
Blast these shadows. Blast this bleeding jungle. I'd give a week's pay just to see the sun.
Well, start climbing then. I suppose we're about 200 feet below the jungle canopy.
And 2,000 miles from any bit of civilization. A cold beer and a bath, and I'd die a happy man.
Sims, once we get back, you'll have all that and more, and a name in the history books.
More likely a name on a bleeding tombstone in the bleeding middle of the bleeding jungle. But in for a penny, in for a pound, like they say.
It is done.
What's that, Outooba?
It is done, you pay me now.
It is done when I say it is done, Outooba.
You say you want Alatumbi people.
Yes, the Alatumbi people, as you call them. The people of the tattoo.
They are here.
Well, then take me to them. That's part of the bargain.
No, I stop now. I no die here. You pay me now.
Why, you bleeding, double-crossing little...
You pay me now. I leave now.
Put down the gun, Sims. Calm down, Outooba. You'll get your money, every penny. But I'll need some sort of...
Alatutamboy! Kalijimwingu!
Hey!
Gucci tattoo!
Hey!
Outooba!
Come back here!
Come back! We can protect you!
What in God's name was that about? He bleeding well ran off like his bleeding hair was on fire. What was he saying anyway?
I'm not very fluent in his dialect. Something about death.
Oh, that's a cheery thought.
And that was the cheery thought we had. For days.
What did you do?
We did nothing. Or very little. It was a maze out there. Leeches as big as your fist. Daily rains that made you sweat-soaked clothing, soaked with rain instead. Flies and cuts, and a daily din of the jungle. Sims wanted to get out or die trying. I understood his desires, of course. But I couldn't leave the people of the tattoo. Yes, our guide was weak, but not a fool. I decided to believe him, to believe they were there. So we gradually ate our supplies, nursed our innumerable cuts and bites, and waited.
Well, and what happened?
One day they just showed up.
Well, that cups it. The last of the coffee and the last tin of hash. Guess I'm a day or so away from joining you in eating boiled leeches.
It was you yourself that suggested that they were probably edible. If you close your eyes, you can halfway imagine you are eating, say, a clam, only with a rather muddy, mealy taste.
Ugh.
Well, they won't kill you, and they have protein. Yours.
I suppose there's a kind of justice in eating something that was eating you first. For I'll be a lot more bleeding desperate than I am today before I eat one of them buggers.
Well then, I'll see you in about 3 days then, chap.
They are better with the seasoning we use, and we eat a different kind.
What the?
Who said that?
I did.
Bleeding hell! Back off, whatever said that.
Put the gun down, Sims.
The hell I will. No bastard is going to sneak up on me without me being protected.
We will not hurt you, Mr. Sims, but we could if we chose to. There are 20 of us here. Put your gun down, and you will see us.
Do it, Sims. There.
Good.
Sims, look!
My God almighty! He's green! And there's another one! It's like he's made of leaves. And above! 1, 2... They're all around us!
As we have been for many days, Dr. LeClerke. You have made us curious.
Who said that? Get away from me!
Shh. Quiet. Quiet, Dr. LeClerke. Mr. Sims. We have decided to help you. Be calm and you will see us for who we are. People just like you.
And just like that, our eyes became able to see shapes together until we started seeing them. Fright soon was overcome by an inexpressible joy as I realized I had found them. The people of the tattoo. The Alatumbi.
Yes, that is one of your names for us, and as good as any other.
Your skin is beautiful.
How come you speak English?
Languages come easily to our people, and we have been near you since the day your guide left.
How can that be?
How are you able to pattern your skin like that?
How can we get out of here?
What is the size of your village?
Many questions, and you will have answers. Come, gentlemen, follow me.
Will you hurt us?
We shall see, Doctor. We shall see.
Hundreds of miles from civilization, a strange tribe of weirdly camouflaged and tattooed natives have rescued 2 English explorers. Or have they captured them? Act 2 of our Night Shift Theater presentation, The People of the Tattoo, will continue after this.
Hey, it's Jordan. Just wanted to check in if you're enjoying our production, and I hope you are. And if you would like to ensure that we can continue to revive the radio play art form, then please consider making a donation via our website, www.siouxfallstheater.com, and go to the 120 Club. That's up in our menu bar. You click that, and you just see the 120 Club, and then you click that. And then you will be given the option to pay in a recurring $10 a month. That's $10. The way I look at it, it's like a ticket, because we are bringing theater to the community. We're bringing the theater into your home. So if you can, right now, visit www.siouxfallstheater.com, go to the 120 Club, and make a donation. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
Act 2 of our story, The People of the Tattoo, is caught between 2 worlds. One, a trackless, steamy jungle in Central America. The other, a cold and rainy London estate, where a strange visitor unravels his tale amidst the flickering light and stark shadows of firelight, where the burning logs cannot unthaw the sense of foreboding that hangs over both host and guest.
So they do exist.
Yes.
And you discovered them. Dr. LeClerke, a drink to your success, then.
Success? Wait for the end of my tale to see if you still have the same opinion, Dr. O'Keefe.
How long were you there?
It is hard saying. At first, we were overcome with relief, then intense curiosity over the tribal ways and habits of the Alatumbi people. Sims and I would gather each night and share notes, excited as children discovering a new toy.
I've never seen the like of it. Even though I know what I'm looking for now, they seem to melt right into thin air. And try as I might to follow after them, I crash about like a rhino, while they just glide along without a sound.
And such agility! I saw one with my own eyes, a boy of no more than 10, leap into a tree limb 10 feet off the ground, and his mother following after with a baby on her back.
Right you are. These women climb to the treetops, picking herbs and plants, carrying young'uns, chatting on with others. Easy as kiss your hand.
Yes. And many of the children they carry are fairly large. It's like they don't want them to grow up.
And the wailing when they tattoo the little ones.
Yes. Have you seen the ritual?
No, they seem to keep that a secret above all else.
Yes. I know what you mean.
Crying in the night and wailing. Next day the young one sits next to his parents, everyone all stoic and proud, and the chief says, "Now he begins his journey." And there, right on his or her little foot, is a tiny leaf tattoo.
Now you say chief. What do you think Loombari is to the tribe?
Hard saying that. Nobody seems to get sick, ever. So you can't say medicine man. Police chief, maybe.
I wonder if it's not more ominous than that.
Bleeding right you are there, Doctor. I don't have to speak a language to see fear in people's eyes.
Yes, you are right, Sims. They sing songs and chant. Many are beautiful. And yet, I have yet to see them smile.
Hello, gentlemen.
Loombari, greetings. I must say you gave me a little fright there.
I am sorry, Doctor. My apologies. I have come with a question, and perhaps a favor to ask as well.
What is it?
I see you, Mr. Sims, looking into that shiny metal object for many days. What is it you see?
Oh, it's a microscope. At least, it can be if I can keep the rust and corrosion off it. I use it to examine the plant life you have around here.
A microscope is used to make very small things appear large. Even in this jungle of plants and animals, there is another, even more bounteous jungle that is smaller than the point of one of your hunting dots.
Ah, and what do they tell you?
Many things, Loombari. We believe there are medicines hidden here in your jungle that can be of great benefit to my people.
And what do you mean by medicine?
Well, you know, like when people get sick and the like.
Yes, I have seen it in other tribes.
But not in your own?
The people of the tattoo do not get sick.
Yes. Speaking of tattoos, tell me, Loombari, would it be acceptable to see a tattooing ceremony?
Listen for the drums tomorrow, and come to the circle of fire. Excuse me, gentlemen. Good night.
Phew. Bleeding hell. What was all that about?
At last, Sims! The most secret of their ceremonies, the tattooing ceremony. We shall be famous. Textbooks will be written, the future course of history changed.
Yeah. Then why is it I feel this knot of fear in my stomach?
So, you were able to witness the ritual?
Yes.
And?
They gathered them all there, from the toddlers to the old, and over it all, Loombari stood. He would not let any refuse, although some tried.
Why?
It was the pain, I think.
Tattooing can be painful.
Yes, but it seemed more than that. People would gather around a tribe member, pinning his or her arms down, while women would hold leaves over the skin, and then after dipping small sharp skewers in a dish of greenish dye, they would begin. Very quickly, almost like a sewing machine, poking. Sometimes the feet and ankles of the young, to the torso and higher for the adults. Arms and shoulders for the elders. All the while, the tribe members would drink this vile-smelling liquid, chanting songs and wailing. The light of the fires cast shadows not unlike in this very room. It was fascinating, horrible, awful, and riveting. I wish I had never seen it. Yet every night, I see it in my dreams, over and over, until I wake up in terror.
But surely it, at the end of the day, was just another ceremony, and you yourself had commented on their effective camouflage and even beauty.
Yes, but at the center of it all was Loombari, insisting that all must be tattooed, all must drink the vile potion, and all must submit to his desires, his control.
A dangerous man, it seems.
You have no idea, Doctor. Loombari's insatiable demand for complete control was centered around two ceremonies. The tattoo ceremony, a weekly tribute that must be obeyed, and the ceremony at the full moon, the penalty for those who would not obey.
The ceremony at the full moon?
Yes. You called Loombari a chieftain. I called him a slave master. It was at the full moon ceremony I came to realize just how evil it all was.
How did you come to find out about this ceremony of the full moon?
We heard it, and we came to dread it.
LeClerke! Dr. LeClerke! Are you awake?
Yes, what is it?
We have to escape. We gotta leave this place.
I know, these poor people have suffered long enough, but you and I both know how futile your suggestion is. Loombari has complete control. We wouldn't make it 1 mile in this godforsaken jungle.
You need to know something about Loombari.
What is it?
He keeps bringing me those dyes they use for the tattoos. And the potions.
Yes?
Keeps asking me for ways to use my microscope. He thinks I have some sort of magic or power in it. Way to make the potion stronger. He says he wants more control.
My God! What have you told him?
I've been stalling him, telling him things that are fairly harmless. But I have been analysing the dye and the potion. And it's poison.
Poison?
Yes. I've done some tests, used some of the lab equipment that has survived. There seems to be a mixture of toxins, hallucinogens, and opiates.
The opiates and such to cause addiction, no doubt. And the toxins for...
murder.
What was that?
You forget. Tonight is the night of the full moon.
The drums. You're right. Listen, I have a theory about your discovery.
And?
Have you noticed who goes to these full moon ceremonies and never returns?
No.
Think. The woman who cooked our meals when we first arrived. The one almost completely covered in tattoos?
Yes.
Where is she?
Well, I don't know.
Gone. And the man who made the spear and blowguns for the hunters?
Yeah. That bloke was covered with tattoos too.
And where is he?
Well, I haven't seen him.
And no one has mentioned either of them.
Why?
They must have broken a rule or gotten too old. And I think this full moon ceremony is nothing more than a chance for Loombari to extract his revenge or get rid of a few unwanted mouths to feed.
He's going to murder them.
Or has already.
Well, that ain't right.
What are you doing?
I had about enough of this bleeding Loombari fella. Murder is murder in my book. I still got my pistol. Been keeping it hidden cleaned. Just in case. And tonight, I'm going to end this bleeding Loombari's hold on these people.
Wait! Are you sure?
I'm sure. Tonight, one fella more is going to be dead. Loombari. Or me.
By now, any dreams I've had of seeing far-off lands and primitive cultures have been replaced by the desire to stay home and read a book by the fire. A thought, I'm sure, that Dr. O'Keefe shared that rainy night in London. But his plans were disturbed, and now he, and you, and I must await the final chapter of this awful tale. The people of the tattoo will conclude after this. A quiet night by a cozy fire has been turned upside down for Dr. Derek O'Keefe. An unwanted stranger to his London estate is describing a horrific journey to a jungle tribe where they witness the rituals of torture and murder.
Good heavens, man! The risk you took!
And a horrible scene it was. By the time we crept into position at the far edge of the fire, the entire assembly of the tribe were gathered around two of the older members of the tribe. They were bound, arms and legs, writhing and screaming as Loombari wrapped a leaf like a tourniquet around their necks, stabbing that infernal needle into the poor necks of the victims, while the people danced and writhed about like maniacs. In a frenzy of rage, Sims pulled out his pistol.
Get away from him, you bleeding murderer! Get back! Back, I say! Or the next dead bloke will be you!
You are too late, Mr. Sims. He is dead. He suffered much, and you were no help to him. You are too late.
So help me, Loombari. If you don't step away from him, I'll plug a hole in your forehead big enough for your fist.
You are a fool, Mr. Sims. You are meddling in things beyond your power to control. I warn you, do not touch him.
No pulse. He's dead. And now it's your turn, you bleeding devil.
With a primal scream, Loombari leapt at Sims. Sims fired, but it was too late. Soon a frenzied mob of crazed natives overwhelmed Sims and turned on me.
You fools! You know nothing of what I have done. The work I've gone through, the dreams now ruined. And now, you both must die.
I was put in a hut, while I could hear the tortured screams of Sims, bound tightly. I was forced to listen to his screams of pain. I begged and pleaded to see Loombari. Nothing seemed to work, but the ropes they used were vines. My desire was strong. Hour by hour, I worked those vines until my wrists bled and my arms screamed in pain, until finally... done. Free. Now for Sims.
LeClerke. You came?
Yes, I'm here. Robert, what have they done to you? My God. They've covered you in tattoos.
Doctor, please. Don't.
Shh, quiet. Let me get you out of here.
It's too dangerous.
You did the right thing. It was I who was a coward.
No, you're wrong. We were wrong. We shouldn't have come here.
So, Dr. LeClerke, I see you have escaped. Your foolish attempts to save your friend have now doomed you both, and there is nothing I can do about it except warn the others.
Oh, what in the devil? What others was he talking about? And good God, man, how did you manage to escape?
Loombari helped me. He's the reason I'm here.
Oh, what are you?
You see, I was wrong. Sims told me that at the end. But I didn't listen. I couldn't understand.
You're talking gibberish, man.
They are not the people of the tattoo. They are people trapped by the tattoo.
Trapped?
It is not a tattoo. It is a parasite.
A parasite?
It enters through the skin of the foot, or through a cut. There it grows underneath the skin, blooming, growing, twining its way higher and higher.
But the woman with the skewers
are trying to kill the plant. They use poison. It helps, slows it down. But it is painful. Very painful. The drugs kill the pain, but it never goes away.
A parasite?
The plant has advantages. Its attack on the body stimulates the adrenal glands, giving the Outooba tremendous strength and agility. The parasite is jealous. It attacks all other diseases, preferring to have the host all to itself.
How terrible.
When the tattoo climbs to the neck, its life cycle is over. As it kills its host, it releases a spore, making it especially contagious.
So the full moon ceremonies.
It seems the parasite is based on a lunar cycle. The ceremony was Loombari's method of quarantine.
So Loombari was trying to help his tribe.
He saw our equipment and thought perhaps he could use our technology to find out more about the parasite. That is why he appeared to us in the first place.
How did you avoid the tattoo?
We had boots. We were kept isolated for the most part. Loombari was protecting us.
That's what Sims meant.
We were wrong about Loombari. The tattoo, everything. By rescuing that dying woman, Sims sealed his own fate. It took him 3 long weeks to die, covered by those tattoos.
How did you get back?
Loombari. He led me out. It was a matter of just a few weeks for me to come to you today.
But why?
To keep them hidden. To stop the search.
Search?
The search for the hidden people. A search I boasted about and promoted. But it must be known. I made the whole thing up. I am a deranged man, a huckster, a con man. You must tell everyone.
Are you saying this is all made up? A fabrication?
I'm saying, asking, begging that you make it so.
Dr. LeClerke, are you all right?
Stay away.
My God, man, what has happened to you?
My wrists, rubbed raw, became infected.
Here, take some water.
Step away.
I'll set it here on the mantle. Your hands! Are those the tattoos?
Not just my hands. It has spread.
Are you contagious?
Soon. Very soon. I can feel it crawling. The pain. Please. You know what must be done.
You're bleeding. The sores are infected. Here. Well, it's not exactly pure alcohol, but the gin in the decanter should disinfect the wound.
No! Stay away! No! You don't understand!
I'm a medical doctor.
Stay away!
Look out! You'll start a fire! Get away from the decanters!
These bottles should do.
No! Look out! The curtains!
What is going on, Doctor? It's on fire!
Get out, Maggie! Ring the fire department!
Remember what I said! Remember what I said!
LeClerke, come out! Save yourself!
Attention! Order! Order! Dr. O'Keefe will address the membership.
Yes, well, thank you all for your notes and calls of concern.
Was much destroyed in the fire?
Yes, regretfully, no one hurt, thankfully, except for the maniacal LeClerke.
What happened?
He was deranged, a madman. He wandered in the jungle, lost with his expedition and ultimately his mind.
And your home?
Destroyed by the fire.
And he died? Of course. What could live through that heat?
I hope not. I truly hope not.
Look in popular books and papers written in the late 1800s and read about legends like Atlantis, Bigfoot, and a hidden tribe of tattooed people of great strength and stamina. Some of the legends are still alive. Others have died out. And maybe that's just as well. Tonight's Night Shift Theater presentation, The People of the Tattoo, featured Clinton Storr as Dr. LeClerke, Mike Kutter as Dr. O'Keefe, Jordan Deffenbaugh as the first Doctor, Bob Uecker as the second Doctor, Jesse Jensen as the third Doctor, Chelsea Kappenman as Maggie, Robin Byrne as Sims, Chris Andrews as Outooba, Alex High as Loombari. Audio mixing was done by Jesse Jensen. Sound design by Jordan Deffenbaugh. The People of the Tattoo was written, directed, and hosted by myself. On behalf of the Night Shift and the Sioux Empire Community Theater, I'm Jeff Gould. Good night. And be careful. Be very careful.